never used it.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, good. Well, then I will I'm going to give y'all a good little introduction. The only thing that I'm paying for that I'm going to show you is the Chat GPT, the upgraded version. So any other platform that I share with you is the free version. They have upgraded versions, but I haven't had a need for it. So I'm going to show you a lot of different or a handful of different platforms that do some different things, or at least I'm using them for different things, just to facilitate the process of marketing or communication, or in a big way SEO. Just to drive that organic traffic to my platforms. So I think the first place to start, I'm going to share my screen here, is really just working on your blog and building out your SEO with utilizing Chat GPT. So this is a Real Trends Daily Update. It's a free newsletter that I get. You guys can sign up for it. The other one that I also sign up for is Housing Wire, but they've like merged in the past, I don't know, 6 months or so, right? But I'm still getting two for some reason. Different websites or different newsletters as it is, right? So I'm going to just take this newsletter email that I've already signed up for. This one happened to feature one of my clients, and so I thought that was fun. So I'm going to click on this guy and open up the article, right? Then all I'm going to do, because what happens with SEO, with search engine optimization, is that if I take a blog and just repurpose it, just copy and paste it, only one blog gets SEO out of that. So like there's these blogging services that we can sign up for, and they write one blog for realtors all over the country. So let's say there's 5,000 of that exact blog. The first person, I don't know if Amber probably knows this, but only one person gets SEO out of that, right? So if 5,000 of us post the same thing, it makes zero impact for our organic traffic, except for that one person that either was first or happened to get the SEO. I don't know how that plays out. So I want to tweak it a little bit, right? I just need to take the same content and rewrite it. So I'm going to do something like this, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to come up to ChatGPT, and that's chatgpt.com. This is the paid version. I don't think I'm really using anything that requires the paid version. And I'm just going to say, rewrite this for my blog with SEO rich content, right? And then I'm going to paste that article. And then I'm going to push enter, and I'm going to let it do its thing. So now this is a never before seen article, right? Or blog, as I'm using it, about the same content that I didn't even have to think about, right? So I'll give credit. I'm not going to act like I wrote this. I'm going to say, hey, took this from whatever in the world that was called, Real Trends, thought it was an interesting read. And then I'm going to pop this guy on my blog, right? The reality is with our blog and and we can get into the dynamics of that too, but with our blog and then with our Google business profile, we need to be working towards optimizing for organic traffic every single day. So with Google wants us to play in their sandbox every day, right? And I'm going to show you like closing the loop after I kind of show you all these pieces. I'm going to show you how I would use it to get a blog post, to get some content on my Google page, and even, maybe a post for social media, right? So this is my first and my simplest one. Another one is, KCM. We get these blogs emailed daily to us. If you have to pay for it, but I have this service. And again, I went and I just said, same thing I hit y'all with, right? Rewrite this to make it original content for SEO, and then I copied and pasted. I haven't even read this. You should read it, because AI does make things up, just for the record. So like you need to read it a little bit just to make sure it's not just wackadoodle, information that you're putting out there. But nonetheless, it broke all this down for me, right? Well, this is a blog, this is an Instagram post, this could be a video in theory, right? I could even say on this chain, because the way that ChatGPT works, for those of you folks that aren't using it, is I want to keep this thread going on this subject. And then if I'm going to ask it a new question, then I'm going to start a new thread. Right. So if I want to basically refer to what we've already talked about, in other words, then I can say, now give me 5 30-second script, video scripts on the above topic. And it's going to map out video scripts with what the opening shot is and the voiceover and, what my call to action could be. Right. So far, Mark has not used his brain, which sounds silly to say, right? But I haven't we get that, like, what do they call it? Analysis paralysis, right? Like, oh, I don't know what to do and I don't know how, and I don't, and we all do that with different areas of our lives, right? This is overcoming that. And in my estimation, with everything I'm going to show you today, I think AI has eliminated at least Mark's excuse for not doing more social media and more content. Like, just straight up, we've all got our reasons, or let me call them excuses, right? We all have that. I get it. I have them too. But this has overcome my objections for sure, right? So again, I'm not going to love every second of this. And I could say, let's say this is a little stuffy, I might say rewrite script 5 with a friendlier tone. And then it's just going to rewrite it and make it a little bit more conversational and friendlier. They get a little carried away. I'm in Nashville. Y'all are in Texas, so they get a little carried away with that country thing. Sometimes ChatGPT does. You got to straighten it out. But I just go back and forth until I like what I'm getting. Right. The other cool / creepy thing is that it learns you. So if you tend to like the friend, like, I'm more conversational in my education style. I'm certainly, just I'm not stuffy. I don't want it to sound like, like I'm not selling luxury, all those things, right? So it's learned me, and so it's giving me outputs that are in alignment with what I've told it I like in the past, right? Any thoughts or questions on that? Does that make sense? It's like, it makes sense now. Ask me in 24 hours, right?
I
The
think
cool
that's a
thing
good
is,
point, Mark. I just wanted to say, since you said, "Hey, it remembers and it learns you." So, like, when you do content that resonates well, you can go back then to Chat GPT and say, "Hey, do this again for X, Y, and Z." So that's why, again, every time something works, you can work smarter, not harder. So when something works well for you, then go back to Chat GPT and have it make more, give you more suggestions, content, scripts, or whatever for things that are working for you.
right on. Yep, absolutely. I'm trying to get down to my settings here, but perhaps they've moved them, because they move buttons every 5 seconds with all of this stuff. Okay, so there is, if I'll ever get down to this bottom part, like, I don't think that's it. No. Okay. So we'll just leave it. We'll leave it there for now, because I can't tend to get there. Now, guys, I mean, just to be clear, I'm doing geometry homework on here because my kids homeschool, right? I'm finding out how I need to prep my turkey. Like, I mean, you can do like all kinds of things, right? Like, where do I get to vote in Tennessee, right? I mean, like, all kinds of things. Like, this is my Google. My kids make fun of me. They're like, Mark, or they don't call me Mark. They're like, Dad, that's ridiculous. Quit going to my kid found a Louis Vuitton wallet, and I told him it was fake, and so we had to verify. So all kinds of things, right? So we can have a lot of fun with this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on. The other thing that I like doing with well, let me pop over to Perplexity. So I'm going to start the roundabout here. So perplexity.ai. I'm going to give y'all like 5 of these. It's ridiculous, but they exist and they make it easier. So jot them down and decide if you're going to use them. With perplexity.ai, everything else I'm showing you, by the way, I'm not paying anything for. So ChatGPT is the only thing that's costing me $20 a month. Perplexity is a data cruncher. it takes data and it gets really nitty gritty. So give me real estate data for, or date for Buda, Texas, right? And I just push enter, simple input, and it's going to go to town with what's going on. And it gives me really current data. Like this is only 30 days old here, right? Now, I don't know the Buda market. You got, well, yeah, I know y'all are all over the Alston Metro, but y'all know it better than I do, at least, right? And so you need to verify that this makes sense. If this is total, like I said earlier, if this is wackadoodle, like don't just copy paste and go, on stuff like this, right? But it's giving us like really, really great data crunch, all these different pieces, right? So, and then what I probably love the most about it is it's telling me what else I might want to data crunch on. So, how has the housing supply changed? Like Texas, y'all are feeling it right now. I know those listings are sitting a little bit longer in Texas and in Florida, right? And so I can just say, hey, yeah, I want to know how the housing supply has changed. Well, it's going to give me this data crunch on, right? So I'm going to take this top one here, and this button right here is a copy. So I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to go over to Chat GPT. I'm going to open a new thread because this is a new topic, and I'm going to say, give me 5 30-second video scripts on this content, right? And I'm going to paste it. Now I'm asking specifically for video scripts. It doesn't need to be video scripts. This could be, y'all know, what is seems to be all the rage right now, like the background with words over it, like if I'm spanning a video, a kitchen or a pond or whatever, right? But these are giving me it's just giving me some content here. Does that make sense? So I just took it from the data crunch of perplexity.ai and I popped it into ChatGPT. And we can ask for more. I can say, I can copy this guy, script 4, and I'm going to say, give me a 1,000-word blog on this content, right? Smiley face. And then it's going to write out a blog for me, right? So if you think about how we have to play in these sandboxes every day, which is so obnoxious, I know, but the way that I look at it, guys, is that a couple years ago we had to pay for AdWorks. We had to pay for Google experts to do all of this. And while it's tedious and a little cumbersome to learn, like I can do it for free now. And honestly, conceivably, I can do it in about 20 minutes a day. Do I screw that up? Of course. Do I forget for a week at a time? Like, yeah, like, sorry, But the reality is, like, we can very simply do this and build our SEO, build that organic traffic for free. So, all right. So this is another one. It's still going to town here, right? But you get the gist. Any questions or thoughts on that? I'm gonna move this guy over here so I can kind of look at my little cheat sheet here. Okay. All right. So that's a couple uses for Chat GPT. Perplexity, I haven't really dug into it much. Like I have a guy, a gal, a client running for city council. And so we kind of played with it and it gave us a really generic stuff. I was just like, oh, let's see what it says about you. Elections next week. So far, real estate's really the best, or specific data is really best. The best use that I found for this. But I'd love if y'all come up with anything that is brilliant, then I'd love to hear about it. Okay, so the next one I want to show you is Claude. Claude AI. I think Claude is maybe Microsoft's. They all had to get a dog in the fight. This is free. And what I'm using Claude for, which I think is so brilliant. Oh, I don't want to share. That's interesting. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to click that paperclip there. And then I'm going to go, I'm sorry, I should have had this pulled up here. So I'm going to go and give it this image, right? So let's say this is the kitchen of my new listing, right? I also want y'all to think about, this is my listing that's been on the market for 47 days, and what in the world do I tell my seller this week? Are y'all feeling that? Right? Like you get to a point and you're like, I don't know, nobody bought it. You know, nobody bought it. Like, I don't know what to tell you, right? But we still need to be reporting in with our sellers. We still need to be demonstrating that we're marketing and that we're in it for the long haul, because we've been hired to do it for the long haul, right? To see them through closing. So I'm going to attach a photo, and then I'm going to say, give me a listing description based on this photo or these photos, right? If I were to load a bunch, and it's not doing anything. Oh, there we go. All right. So then this little bad boy is going to go to town on the one picture I gave it and give me all of this, right? So one of the things that we are all working on at Tom Ferry is our client base is exactly what I said. What am I going to do on day 37? What am I going to do on day 72? Right? How am I continuing to market the property with fresh and unique ideas? So we're going and we're creating a 30, 60, 90-day marketing campaign using things like this, because this could be, another thing I love about 123 Bluebird Street is this kitchen. Look what, and then you can just go to town with this, or again, you can edit it or what have you, right? I don't really know. Rewrite this in friendly tone. Let's see how that works out. Because yeah, so there we go. So it'll do a little chat GPT action on you. Most of these, my understanding is they're programs written on top of chat GPT. So there's Chat GPT, that's the base, that's the data, grabbing all the content. And then the Perplexity is a data crunch algorithm or software on top of Chat GPT. This is most likely on top of Chat GPT. All right, so I love this again for my listing photos and descriptions, but probably more likely for the use of them on week 2 and week 3 and week 4, where I can continue to feature a property and maybe just have a couple pictures, etc. Now, a lot of these, rewrite this as a Halloween poem. And a lot of them will get cute and clever like that. See, there you go, right? So if you wanted to post something today about one of your listings, right, you could ask for a Halloween poem, and there you go. It'll give you something based on a picture I gave it, guys. I mean, it's so simple to make that happen. So okay, I haven't really played with much of this beyond this because I'll just go to crazy town. Like I'll get lost in a rabbit hole. So I'm really, really recommending for you guys, for productivity purposes, identify what you're going to use these for. Identify the ones you're not going to use. It's fine, right? It's a buffet. It's just supposed to take things that work for you, and then identify how you're going to use them and use them there. If you have an educational time block in your week, anybody? Then you could explore these things, right? When you're listening to webinars and podcasts and whatever, you could maybe play with this, because I'm sure this does a lot of things that I'm not telling you right now. All right. Okay. So the next nerdy little thing that I have is Gemini. So Gemini, this again is free, gemini.google.com. It's Google's product. And what I love, I'm going to talk about SEO a little bit more. What I love about this is I can take Harlan's video here. I can click the share button and get the YouTube URL. I can come in here and say, give me transcript for this video. My understanding is it needs to be loaded on YouTube, because Google wants you to do everything on Google products, right? Oh, well then. I think Carlin was drinking and slurring that day, so it didn't pick it up. No. But I can give you. So I did the same prompt, right, with this guy, and it gives you the output. The reason that matters is back to the SEO, like I mentioned. Well, now I have a blog for my website. right? And it's featuring, whatever this, I think this was market data for the community, right? He's outside of Chicago. So I used my video, and then I was able to scrape it for the words, and now I can use it as a blog. We used to have to pay $1 or $2 a minute for rev.com to do that. Like if you're really optimizing your website, every video gets a blog under it, and it's just the transcript. Cool. Okay. Who's doing videos? Like who has videos on YouTube right now? Because I know not everybody is doing that. Nada. Andrew, you're the only face I can see. So yeah, you're
I
okay.
don't think many people are on YouTube. I know some people like will do short former videos and things like that on Instagram, but yeah, I don't know if we have many people here who are on YouTube.
Okay. All right. So one thing I would consider, guys, is follow this page and do what it said, do what they're doing, because Amber knows what she's doing. One of the like easiest hacks in my mind is to go to my Insta, get my shorts or my reels, and then load them as shorts on YouTube. Because you gotta remember, like, Insta's here and gone, right? It's that community, that like that vibe. And then YouTube is a Google product, which is searchable. So when people are searching Buda, Texas, when people are searching for things to do in Buda, then YouTube, Google will present YouTube videos as a result forever. So that's just the thought, right? My Instagram post from 3 weeks ago, nobody's thinking about it right now, right? Nobody's seeing it necessarily, but my YouTube content is there forever and ever. So, and that's really like, anyway. So that's that. Gemini will get you your transcript. That will enhance your SEO quite a bit. And then for those of you, AI will also make pictures of you that look somewhat like you, like mine. The only problem is then people like Amber are going to say, "Hey, I need a high res copy of that because that's what my office just asked for," and I'm like, "Yo, like that guy didn't exist. Like I don't have one." So I'm trying to figure that part out. But nonetheless, right? It made me look good. So the other thing that I want to just include in this, and then I want to show y'all the round robin is we need to be playing in this sandbox, as we call it, every single day, right? So there's a couple things that we can do in there, and I'm going to squeeze this in. Hey, Carlin, can you unmute? Or Amber, you might know. Do I get 30 minutes or do I have a little bit longer?
No, we have it slotted for an hour.
Okay, all right, good. Okay. So I'm going to utilize some of the AI that I just walked through with you guys, and I'm going to show you how I actually do use it to optimize my Google. Now, my Google presence, right? And this is find me a realtor in Buda, Texas, right? Like we can do a bunch of free stuff and show up on the top of that list or near the top of that list, right? Below all the paid folks. So simply put, you guys, I'm not going to get into the nerdy part of this because it'll look different for your website, but you can go to your website and do a search, right? For homes for sale. I'll just let you look at these. Waterfront homes in Williamson County, Franklin, Tennessee homes with a pool, Knowlton home price reduction, right? So what I did is I went to my website and I did the search for that criteria, and then I come and I create a product on Google. So what that's going to do is Google is going to reward me for creating and packaging up a perfect result for that person who's searching on Google. And so since I've created that result and it's on my website, it's going to drive SEO, but it's also going to cause Google to promote it more as people search, for that criteria, right? So let's see here. So let's say horse properties in Franklin. And then when I click to this guy, I am gonna go to the blog on my website. Wow, this is really slow right now. So I'm gonna go to the search result on my website, right? So you can see that I've already put this stuff in, and then I just copied the URL, and then I made the post. And if anybody, do you think any of y'all will do that? Like, is this appealing to any of you guys on the call? It's tedious, but it's really brilliant. Okay, I know, it's really nerdy too, but this is being recorded. So okay, so then I'll walk y'all through this with well, just very simply, I'm going, and this is going to look different on your page, of course. Did I just go right back? So I'm going to come to the website and I'm going to do a search, right? So I'm going to say Franklin. I'm going to say single family. Ooh, got a little carried away there, didn't I? I wish. Under 2, and then I'm just going to do a search. Now I would go in and I'd get more specific. I might say a swimming. Oh my goodness. I might say a pool. I might say waterfront. Like, right? Like, I mean, if people are looking for waterfront houses, I want to sell it to them. So I might get a little creative with this. But basically, I'm going to enter the search criteria, get the page where the results are, and then I'm going to copy, like I said, this URL. I'm going to come over to, I lost it because I clicked away from it. I'm going to go over to my Google business page, and I'm going to come down to products. I'm going to add a product. Oh yeah, this is fun. I haven't done this. I did this for a Google ad last week, but now they'll make images for you. I just have to tell it what I want and it'll make it. So we're just going to skip that right now, right? So homes for sale in Franklin with pools, right? I'd probably dress that up a little bit. The category is always going to be real estate. I have some folks that will do Buda real estate, Kyle real estate, New Braunfels real estate. I don't see an impact on that for SEO. So my advice that I was given by the gentleman who trained me on this is just have real estate as your category. That's what you sell, move on, right? I'm never going to put a price. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to write something. I'm going to ask it to write me a description, right? So ChatGPT or GPS. And then I'm going right here. My landing page is the result on my website, right? That URL I copied earlier. So, and then what I'm doing is, just right clicking. Carlin's probably going to tell you can't do this. I'm just right clicking one of the pictures and putting it as my photo on Google right now because I don't think anybody cares, but maybe. Okay, Carlin's shaking her head. So maybe use AI or use a house that's representative or a pretty, the Green River or Green, is that what it's called? Comal River, Guadalupe River, whatever, right? So, but this is what you end up getting. Now, people are not going to your Google business page to search these, right? This just looks pretty. They make this, they tile it out for you. But what they are doing is 4-bedroom homes in Buda, 4-bedroom homes that go to Johnson High School, right? That's what they are searching. And we're, again, like I said, we're just creating that perfectly packaged result for Google to present. Fair enough? When I'm doing this, if I were you guys, think about your listings that are coming up, right? You have a house on 1 acre with swimming pool coming up. I'm going to do homes with acreage and a swimming pool because my home will be listed in that. My listing will be listed in that results, right? And I can drive some SEO and I'm certainly not going to lie about it, but I am going to share with my seller when I report into my seller what I'm doing. That I'll segment it out personally, but I'm going to say, hey, look, we did this search and they had this many. There's this many people right now looking based on our smart targeting on the internet, right? And then here's the amount of people that looked at your house, et cetera, right? So so at any rate, that's the way I'm going to go with that. Does that make sense? I know it's like some pesky steps, but once you do it 3 or 4 times, like it's like, I mean, you can do it in like 5 minutes, maybe 10. Okay. No questions or nods? Okay. All right, cool. So so that's my products. Yes,
I was
Carlin.
gonna say that's just pretty brilliant. I love that.
It's really good. I mean, and I'm posting, and by the way, take this blog that you made, post it on Facebook, right? Like I'll do that. I'm like, oh, dreaming of a cabin in the woods, or whatever, and then like I'm gonna get some traffic to my website for free, you know. So just get creative with how you're gonna use it. Okay, the other thing that I think is just stinking brilliant, also cumbersome, but worth it. Um, of course, let me just mention while we're on this, reviews, hands down, they will have the biggest impact on your placement on Google, right? Most of my clients, because of these things and the other things they're doing, of course, but they're getting business from, I don't know, I just Googled and you came up, I called you, right? Like they're getting those calls, right? So the next thing that we want to do is, okay, I'm going to take you on a big old world journey here. It's a little crazy, but here we go. Okay, I got to move our faces out of the way. Can y'all see my Google screen? Okay. So I'm going to do just to get us set up here, keywords everywhere for Chrome. Oops. Okay, I didn't like that. I'm just going to go keywords everywhere. Then I'm going to click on that and I'm going to install for Chrome. This is a, what are they called? Extension. And I'm going to show you what it does. I just wanted to show you how I got it on my computer, right? So I'm going to install it. And then you guys see up here, I think you can see my cursor, my mouse thing pointer. So I have this K there now, right? That's my keywords everywhere. I want to turn it on and off because I pay for it. But I'll tell you, I bought 100,000 credits about 8 months ago, and it was $10, and I still have 65,000 left. So it's like, I mean, it's pennies, but I don't want to waste it. So I want to remember to toggle it on and off when I'm not using it, and it gives you a bunch of lovely stuff that you don't care about when you're just looking for a soup recipe, which y'all know I go to ChatGPT for. So okay, so we're gonna just make sure that guy's on, right? And then I'm going to go back to Google. I already have my keywords everywhere. And I'm going to do things to do in Buda, Texas this fall, as an example, right? So it's going to do its little Google search. And then over here, I get this whatever it's called, side menu. And it's telling me what other people are already searching as it relates to the words I gave it, right? So in this case, things to do in Buda, just straight up, right? So 1,000 people are searching that. Things to do, things to do. I did, I'll show you an example because this is probably a day late and $1 short, Mark. But, right, I did pumpkin patches near me, right? Like just think about what are people doing, right? Places to drive and look at Christmas lights in Austin. That would be a good one, right? Because people are going to be searching that, right? So so I'll go back here. So I'm gonna come here for my ideas, is what I'm getting at, right? So this is just give me intel. Usually, like for me, I'm in Franklin, south of very similar, like south of Nashville. So when I do mine, I tap into the Nashville, and Nashville's like, a bazillion like searches, right? So tap into the Austin vibe, because if I'm in Oregon, I don't know Buda yet, right? I just know I have a budget of 700 and I'm moving to Austin next fall. For the most part, these are our research buyers and sellers, right? They're just kind of checking it out. I want my locals to see this too, because I want to create that I see you everywhere. But a lot of this is for research buyers and sellers. So, okay. So I'll take my pumpkin patch idea, right? Carlin already warned y'all I'm all over the place. So let's see. I thought it was maps.google.com. I don't know why it's not auto-populating. Okay. So I'm going to go to my Google Maps, google.com/maps, apparently. And there it is, waiting on me. It's probably listening to us. So it already knows where I am. And so it's going to, yeah. Okay. It's going to just give me a map result of the whatever I asked for, right? So pumpkin patches, right? Same thing, guys. I'm going to copy this URL. I'm going to come over here to my Google business profile, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I think I said give me a description about pumpkin patches in Franklin and make me want to visit one this weekend. Something like that, right? It gives me this. I'm going to click on my learn more button. It's going to take me, this is ridiculous, but it works so well, guys. So just bear with me. It's going to take me to my blog, which Chat GPT wrote. And I know I just told you to always read it, but I didn't even read this one because it wasn't data specific and I didn't need to verify, right? So, so it gives me a blog, all that SEO goodness. And then I have a link up here. When I click the link, I go back to that map result. So Google eats this up because I'm going from Google Business Profile to my website to Google Maps. So they call that spider legging, I think, or webbing or something. I think they call it spider legging. I don't know. It sounds weird when I say it, but spider it. Right. And so but Google loves when we're doing all those backlinks and all that jazz, right? Sending them back and forth. So that's ridiculous. But here's the cool part, that one of my favorite parts with the search for properties under 2 million in Franklin, and with this map result, it's updated automatically. So I posted something 3 weeks ago, but there are new properties that have come on the market that fit that criteria. And because I'm driving the traffic to the URL, well, the URL is updated based on the IDX feed, right? Google Maps, as long as the business has updated their whatever, or Google's caught on that they've opened or closed, this is going to stay relevant too, because it's not on there anymore if it's closed down, right? So I do coffee shops, I do places to hike, right? Places to eat outdoors, things like that. Does that make sense? Yeah, enough of you. I got like 3 heads of there. Okay. So Google Maps about things to do, and then your search page about specific criteria around properties that you can search for, right? Another one that seems to play well, and I certainly would. I don't have it on there. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm going to show y'all something. Is this weekend's open houses, right? So, or open houses in Buda. You can have that on your blog page, so it's driving SEO, or yeah, you can have it there. And then you can post that link on Facebook every Thursday or Friday, right? So it's you don't have to recreate the search on your ABC website. You can just say, oh, I know this IDX is updated, so I'm just going to do this weekend's open houses and post it on Facebook. Cool. What questions y'all have for me so far? I know this is ridiculous, but rewatch the video and take really great notes, because once you do it once or twice, y'all know how this goes. It becomes very easy. It's just, where in the hell is the button, right? I mean, that's like every time for me. Questions, comments, thoughts? Will you ever do anything like this?
Yes, we all will, right, guys?
Okay.
What we could do is, if you guys are lost, because Lynn's saying we'll need to rewatch the video.
It's head spinning, yeah,
So,
for sure.
so we can take one of the Tuesday workshops that I'm doing with you guys and go deeper on all this,
Oh, that'd
and
be
kind of,
awesome.
yeah. So if you guys will email me like your number one takeaway that you want to learn more about from this today, then I'll prioritize our upcoming workshops. Okay.
Thank you.
You bet.
Very cool. It's the best way to get it done.
Yeah. Could you maybe, since a lot of these things are maybe things that agents aren't doing yet, or like, where do I even begin with this? Can you maybe talk about AI and like organizing your work or your SOPs, or like how you use it, to get you going and organized?
Yes, I think. Have you not talked to Carlin about, I'm not very organized, so I don't really know what to say. No.
Well, so I think some of the concepts today is like, hey, these are great things. These are all things you should be doing, but I don't think a lot of people are there yet and doing those things. So like, how do we use AI to get there and like snowball, right? Like we got to start somewhere. And some of these concepts might be a little more advanced than where we're at right now. So where do we start,
I think the
100
basics for
day.
me of getting started, because I don't know anything about it, and trying to follow along right now, it's a lot because I don't know the beginning of anything with, chat GPT. So it's going to be hard for me to follow what you're saying, Mark, because I don't really know the basics of this software.
Okay. Okay. That's really good. Really helpful.
And
So
we can
yeah.
definitely do deeper dives. So don't feel like you guys all need to know this right now. I'm gonna jump off because I've got to go figure out where I'm supposed to be right now. But thank you, Mark. This is really great.
Good to see you.
You too. Bye.
Wait, Carlin, wait just a
Oh,
second.
wait. Yeah.
All right, sorry, I just needed to get this in the there we are.
Oh my
So this is the text that I got earlier from Carlin. It says 10 years ago is what your time
Oh,
hop said,
wow.
Carlin. So anyways,
Good
I
Lord.
just had to do that before you leave.
I was Guy Fieri in that photo
Ah,
and weighed
I'm a
like
selfie
60 pounds more.
because I didn't plan. Yeah. Okay. All right, Carlin, go ahead.
Thanks. Appreciate
Sorry to
that.
keep you.
Now I'm a monster zombie. I don't know what I am now. But all right. Happy Halloween,
That's
guys.
funny.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that.
Bye.
Bye.
That's funny. Okay, so I do honestly I do things like this. So I said, hey, I'm new to AI. I'm a realtor. Give me a 100-day syllabus of what I should do for 5 minutes daily to learn. I'm overwhelmed. I need simple steps that produce results daily, and it like gave me a day by day of what I could do. Right. So what so that would be one thing is use AI to learn AI, which I've done extensively. I'm new to chat GPT. What are the 10 top features I should know about? Something like that. It'll fix my typos. So there I would if you were to say, Mark, I've got 5 minutes, I need to learn one thing, like settle down, buddy, because I get so carried away. I'm going to my Google business profile because I can do this for free and I can always optimize my Google presence. And there's so much impact that will have, like impact as in you get phone calls and make money, like and I can, I probably have a roster of let's say 40 agents around the country. Every one of them that are using Google in this way they have made money 20, 50, $100,000 this year because of this stuff. And it's so much I remember I grew up in Buda and went to UT, and I remember driving to UT one day because I was still living in my parents' house. And on the radio, they said somebody called in, was like, "When's the best time to buy a house in Austin?" And he was like, and the DJ was like, 10 years ago. It's like the next best time is today. And that's how I see that's how I see this, right? Like it's slow and steady. It's gonna create your online presence or your organic, reach and presence. But it's gonna take you doing it every day for the next year, right? Which is daunting, but at least we don't have to think, like I said. So to answer your question, I would be doing this map business. So I would go to Google Maps and then I would think of places to hike in Buda, Texas, right? I'm gonna get that. Oh, that's nice. It's like, no, buddy, you're so far. Okay, so that didn't work out. But I'm gonna do something like that, right? Like I'm gonna do oh, come on, work with me. All right. So hiking in Buda, Texas. Let's see if that'll cooperate. Okay. So I've got this guy, right? And so I can come in, you can always adjust this. I can say search this area because it gave me a lot of Austin. And then I'm going to copy this URL and I'm going to go to my website and I'm going to create a blog. If I don't have a website and I'm not doing that nonsense, then I'm just going straight to my Google business profile. I'm going to add an update and I'm putting, nope, I lied. I'm going to add a product and then I'm putting, now, you know what? This is bothering me. Just give me a second here. There we go. Okay. I'm going to chat GPT the description. I'm going to get a photo from well, from one of these little thumbnails is honestly what I do. Why I just try to keep it simple. And then this button, I'm going to say learn more. And I'm going to put that URL that is the Google Map result in the learn more field. And this is places, you know, hiking in Buda, Texas. Right. But I'd flower that up. That's what I would start doing. If you're going to do one thing from today, start doing that and do it every day. Coffee shops. I love, I have a gentleman I was talking to earlier, and he's going to start featuring locally owned businesses. Right. So do a map and then do a feature of each one. Right. Something along those lines. I don't know if that helped or not, Amber. Like, if that, I know this is so ridiculous,
No,
but I
it,
just
it
wanted to show
does.
y'all all of it so you could pick the ones
Yeah,
that you
I
liked,
think
you
that
know?
this shows like you literally can use it for anything. So that's why it feels overwhelming. So when you're going throughout your day and maybe you get a question from a client or something like that, like put that into ChatGPT and say, "How do I make this into a social media post?" You know, like start
Love
using
that.
it for stuff that's happening in your everyday life right now. And as you learn, like then you can add these other things in. Like you said, you can have it organize a schedule for you or like an AI learning schedule or whatever. But like just start using it. If you're doing open houses, like, hey, how can I optimize this post that I'm creating to invite people for this theme and like, you know, like start using it for where you're at now and then you're going to become familiar and then you can start using it for other things too. And like Mark said, make sure your Google business is up there and then just start working on that too. So don't do everything, but just start using it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I love that. And and I'm thinking about Texas because y'all are unique in that you have longer marketing time right now. Days on market, like y'all just do, in Austin. So I would think about what is a pain point in my business right now and how can I utilize AI to solve it? And so another thought I have is just something like this. Again, what do I tell my seller that I'm doing on day 47, on day 72, so I would do that. And we could play with this. Like I could probably add like Santa sitting at that table if I found the right program. You know what I mean? So like we could get cute and clever and do things like that. I have one more. Can I show y'all? It's really cool. Can I show y'all one more? Do you have time? Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tuck this away. This is transitionalhooks.com. And I'm just gonna it's those scroll stopping 2-second videos that y'all see at like this guy right here is probably boom, right? Okay, not. But y'all see these online, right? Like I'm still working on something to do with this gorilla. 'Cause I'm like, I need to figure out what to do with that right there. But as a simple example of how it plays out, I can come over here and I used it just because somebody told me about it the other day, right? So this clip is from Transitional Hooks. It's free. I created a story. You guys, very simply, I just find the one I want and I download it. It's all free, right? And then I just put this when you find that perfect match and then my website, right? franklinhomefinder.com. So that's all it is. Like it's some of you are going to be like, that's what you thought was so special. But I've been looking for it forever because I'm like, how do these people get these clever little clips? So that is, like I said, transitionalhooks.com. It's free. There's pages and pages of goofy little things. I'm sure there's some Halloween ones that you could do today. I haven't even looked specifically for that. So that's my last little nugget there. What other comments and questions y'all have? Knowing that we're going to work through this in a lab setting where y'all can pick one at a time. What other thoughts or questions y'all have before we run out of time here?
This has been great.
Yeah, I really don't have any. I'm gonna just start really just putting different things into AI and try to figure out how to make this work.
What in the world to do with it?
So I
love that.
I have it notes and everything you did, and hopefully I'll get to speed to, to be able to do that quickly, like
Yeah.
you said, in 5 minutes. But I'm sure it's gonna take a while, but I'm pretty excited about just getting started.
It does, but you know what I'd say is I don't want to have more time right now because I want to be selling lots of houses, but traditionally this time of year we have a little bit more time, and so like I can start doing some of this stuff and really work on that optimization for the spring.
Mhm.
And I know I sound like a big nerd, guys, but the reason I get all like hopped up about this is because like I see the results. Like I see people making $80,000 off of this, and like that gets me excited. It just took a little bit of discipline and figuring it out, which it might take you 30 days. My favorite way to break into something like this is when you get the recording of this video, watch one segment and pause it. And then do that thing and rewatch that one segment and like just focus on that for a week, if or whatever makes sense for you. And then watch that next segment, et cetera, et cetera. Because I threw like I don't like 30 things at y'all, and each one of them is a little complex. So like right now I get it, like it's a little mushy. My head's a little mushy typically after things like this. All right. Anybody else? Y'all can reach out. You can email or text if you have questions, if you just need troubleshooting, things like that. We can help you out with that. All righty.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good to see.
Thanks, Mark.
Amber
Happy
and Andrea, I don't
Halloween.
even know how to say your name right, but
That's
thank
right,
you for showing
Andrea.
your face. Andrea. Okay. All right. Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy
Talk to y'all
Halloween.
soon.
Have a
Okay.
good one.
Bye.